Hello, everyone. Today I have a new type of inspiration video. Instead of reading an article from JSH or something from the pastor or something from another writings of Mrs. Eddy, I wrote an article that I'm going to read straight to video. I was going back and forth. Should I submit this as my sixth article to JSH? Should I just record it and then submit it after if it's good enough? But after much listening, God said, nope, get it online right now. So here it is. The title is We Are Living in a Simulation, but it is not material. Okay, today's title might sound weird and surprising. We're living in a simulation, but it's not material. But this is an idea that has been in my consciousness for some time now, probably since I saw the first Matrix movie. And I just had to let it out. You've probably heard of the simulation hypothesis or simulation theory. There was a philosopher, Nick Bostrom, who in 2003 made that argument. And he suggested that if advanced civilizations can run detailed ancestor simulations, then most conscious beings would likely exist inside those simulations rather than in base reality. Obviously, that was what the Matrix movies was all about, right? So, with rapid advances in virtual reality and AI and computing, many, including Elon Musk, said the odds we are living in base reality are very low. It's a mind-bending idea, right? But what if the real insight goes deeper? What if the simulation we're in isn't a material computer program at all, but a mental one? And what if the true base reality is purely spiritual? The simulation idea challenges our assumptions about reality. It asks, what if everything we see, touch, and measure is rendered by some higher system? Physics quirks like the speed of light as a processing limit or quantum observation effects get people speculating. But here's where I pivot. The material world itself, I believe, is the illusion, a kind of dream or false belief. This isn't New Age speculation. It aligns powerfully with the teachings of Christ Jesus and the revelations in the Christian Science textbook, Science and Hope, with Key to the Scriptures by Mary Baker Eddy. As you all know, in our textbook, our leader gives us the scientific statement of being. There is no life, truth, intelligence, nor substance in matter. All is infinite mind and its infinite manifestation, for God is all in all. Spirit is immortal truth. Matter is mortal error. Spirit is the real and eternal. Matter is the unreal and temporal. Spirit is God, and man is his image and likeness. Therefore, man is not material. He is spiritual. You all know that. But she also writes, quote, theology and physics teach that both spirit and matter are real and good, whereas the fact is that spirit is good and real, and matter is spirit's opposite. Matter is not a solid substance, but a mental phenomenon, a simulation of the material senses. Our true identity isn't trapped in a body or a material universe or in a tank somewhere to be batteries. We are spiritual ideas of the one infinite divine mind, God. And we were created by him as pure and perfect reflections of him, expressing infinite goodness, life, health, and dominion. The material world is a simulation, and the base reality is the world of spirit. As we awaken to this fundamental truth, limitations, disease, and discord begin to dissolve, And we begin to see the real universe of spirit everywhere and in everything. This is exactly what Jesus demonstrated. Jesus repeatedly lifted people out of a material worldview into the reality of God's spiritual universe. In John 18, when questioned by Pilate, Jesus said, "My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight. But now is my kingdom not from hence." And he also told his followers in John 17 that they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world, end quote. Jesus healed the sick, fed multitudes, and overcame death, not by manipulating matter, but by understanding its unreality and the allness of spirit. He saw man as God's perfect spiritual reflection, not a flawed material being. Jesus was waking people up from the simulation of material sense to the base reality of the kingdom of heaven, the harmonious reality of spirit here and now. So as most of you know, this isn't just theory for me. In my own life, as shared in many of my articles and my Shepherd video on this channel, I grew up in Christian Science and had a profound awakening, an epiphany, if you will, around age 12 in Sunday school. I really knew that God was love, that spirit is the only reality and matter is not real. And that epiphany has guided me through decades of challenges. Whether I took the right boat or not, it was still there. I've worked in the business world. I've worked in 9 of our Christian Science institutions, served communities in various capacities, and faced deep trials, physical, mental, spiritual, including loss and grief. Yet through it all, I've seen countless healings and demonstrations of the truth. I've witnessed broken bones, serious illnesses, financial problems, even death overcome twice. These aren't coincidences. They prove that as we shift from material belief to spiritual understanding, harmony appears and the simulated material picture changes. So like a shepherd guiding a flock, I've learned that selfless service and clinging to truth shows me the base reality of spirit and brings me genuine happiness and freedom, because I am living and I was created to be God's perfect child. The simulation of material life loses its grip when we live as spiritual beings, and Jesus, the Master Shepherd, shows us the way. And our leader, Mary Baker Eddy, explained it further. We may indeed be living in a simulation, but it's the simulation of mortal mind, not silicon chips. The good news, we can wake up right now. God, infinite spirit, is the only reality. You are his spiritual image and likeness, whole, free, and eternal. As our textbook affirms, Science and Health, the Key to the Scriptures, understanding this brings healing and dominion. Let's follow Jesus, reject the material dream, and live in God's universe of spirit. Thank you for watching. If this resonates, explore the pastor, call a Christian Science practitioner. This truth is demonstrable and will set you free. Or if you want to contact me, I'll share you some ideas too. So subscribe, comment your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless.